I'm at a loss for words right now. I don't even know what the hell to do. Went from looking at this field and being, fairly cautiously optimistic to feeling like I took a massive gut punch right now. So we did a couple strips of the headland over there, looking really good. We did a strip out to the middle of the field, looking pretty good. But every time we got into these low areas, like it's green as grass. It smells like silage coming out the back. I can't put it in the bin like that. I don't know if we wait a couple days and the Roundup will go down, or if it's totally woken back up. Maybe because we were so dry. This place being a little bit of a water run, you thought it might have had better moisture, better conditions. Like, we're not up on top of a hill here at all. This is one of the water runs, and then you go another 100 yards that way, there's another one. But like, you're looking at plants that are growing and have harvestable pods on top. Now, if it wasn't for the fact that I've committed to this trial, I would just probably pick around shit. Like, just kind of go in the combine and kind of line stuff out and go spray here, spray there, spray there. I don't know. It's going to be 2 weeks before this stuff's ready. Oh, I'm so flabbergasted and confused as to what the hell's going on here. Like, you're seeing lots of spots where the leaves are nice and twisty, meaning that the Roundup's working. And like, hey, let's go 25 feet to the side. This is probably 30, 40 bushel canola ready to go. The kicker is that trial. Well, part of the kicker is that trial. And like, I don't want to go out and do another aerial application of something that's not going to work or going to take 2 weeks. At the moment, I'm like 95% sure it's nothing to do with flea beetles. We did see a lot of flea beetles later when the crop was well established. But the time when flea beetles do a lot of damage is when it's real small and dainty. As far as I know, there was no frost here, and there's definitely no hail. It's too predictable of streaks to be hail. Don't get me wrong, it could happen that way, but it's so weird that it correlates with the water runs. Here's a good spot to look at. This is what I was looking at before. I'll grab a pair of plants side by side. This one's dead and ripe, good to go. This one is green, has flowers, and ripe pods at the top. Like, what the hell? What am I supposed to do with that? Well, decisions are not coming easy here. This stuff, you can see we did a couple swipes of the headland. Running 35 is a minimum, typically averaging 45, I would say. Highs of 60. Which is really good, especially in a dry year, especially on the higher land. So we wanted to get a representative sample. So we said, hell, let's cut it right here. And it's flowering. Like, it was looking pretty much dead not that long ago. I'm probably going to have to get the drone out to get an idea of where I need to spray. And it's flowering in the underbrush. The really interesting part is that we sprayed this And like, this is in vigor canola, so it's Liberty resistant. It's still pretty green. But in this slough, you see all the round leaf mallow and all the fireweed hasn't yellowed up yet. I don't know if the spray just didn't work. Like there's a sow thistle right there. Oops. It's dead. All the sow thistle's dead. Kind of find it weird that the round leaf mallow didn't do something. There is some tiny yellowing to it, but for the most part, didn't touch it. We get going up here again, and you can just see how it's a spot here, and it's horrendous. And it goes, like, where it gets really bubbly, you can see, like, there's green leaves to the ground. They should be dropped off by now, like this. So where it's really good, and it's ready. And then all of a sudden, buh. And then we go further, and it's kind of meh, I guess, buh. This regrowth thing is going to send me to an early grave. Because that right there is probably 35 bushel. That right there is probably 20. 35. 20, yeah, 15 with regrowth. Like, and the worst part about that is there's going to be green pods in there. So then we're going to have oodles of dockage. Probably green seeds. Like there's, I just don't know what to do with this stuff. So here's my vegetation map, and you can see right there is a real light looking strip, and right here is another one. This end, not so sure about. Seems like this west quarter over here is much better than the east. A lot of that is drainage on this side. However, there's some sloughs over here. Getting off topic, but our thoughts are potentially I could spray this streak, and probably that, and I think there's a little bit on the headland over there that might need it. But we're gonna use this as a guide. We're gonna go double check against using the drone, and hopefully we'll chat with Brienne in the morning. Brienne is the DeKalb rep, and we want to see what we can do to hopefully still salvage some data for them. This actually turned into quite an interesting little experiment we got going on here. So I'm out in the field that had the regrowth. Found it yesterday, spraying for it today. And I'd hoped to take the drone over. Ran out of time last night, and it's been a bit on the breezy side for the drone today. And so I started playing with field view, and I said, oh, well, what about this true color? That should show. And it doesn't do anything. It's satellite imagery, you can kind of see, but it doesn't have enough contrast to really be helpful. But Scout, this is really interesting, because you can see where the seed trials are in the middle. More importantly, you can see the high vegetation areas, which is right there, there. And for note, when I had this sprayed with the plane, he said he stayed about 240 feet back from this yard. So that's believable. And over here. So I said, I'm going to spray based on that, and I started cruising around. It's kind of hard to see, but there's my icon, whoa, of me. Well, then I go, hey, hang on a second. I know I've got this feature. It's zoomed in a little much, but I can split screen my application of heat with what I'm seeing there. And so like as I move, it recenters, or I can say center on me. Let's zoom in a bit. And you can see, so I'm going around chasing green spots. Now, I actually came to this corner just to confirm, because I am parked in this old slough. That's not the green I'm interested in. It's the green over there. That's the regrowth. So as you can see, if I zoom in and I'll center this a bit better, or maybe I'll zoom out, you can see I sprayed kind of where I saw the most regrowth. It actually worked quite well, if I'm being dead honest. And it was fairly accurate. Some of these green patches are just kochia. Probably this one too, but I'm going to go for a rip. Kochia doesn't like heat very much. At least we'll fizzle it up some. But I guesstimated that it was going to be about 120 acres. I still haven't finished. I probably should go up here a little. Well, I did pretty close. I'm not far away from that. This is not regrowth very much. It's more of just slower to die canola. But this proved extremely valuable, is all I gotta say.